Welcome to Life Planning 101, brought to you by Smart Money Group and Kennedy Financial Services in Eastland, Texas. Tune in every week as we share important information to help you and your family live life on purpose. Insurance, investments, legacy and tax planning, and much more. All covered now on Life Planning 101.
Welcome to Life Planning 101. My name is Angela Robinson with Kennedy Financial Services and Smart Money Group here in the great town of Eastland, Texas. It is 2024. Can you believe it? 2024. The Cowboys are divisional champions. Can you believe it? Yes, the last time that this happened, it didn't end so well. And I'm not even going to say, how about them Cowboys? Really, that was like not really saying it until we beat San Fran, because I'm just going to assume that that's going to be the NFC Championship. But on to bigger and better things. You don't want to hear about the Cowboys all day. Of course, if you're from Texas, you might want to hear about the Cowboys. I know things are just a little bit joyful in Texas right now. And I am feeling joyful today. And I'm also feeling a little, boisterous. So I'm going to hit you with a sucker punch. Because I read a statistic this morning that according to Inc. magazine, a whopping 91% of us, people, Americans, won't achieve our New Year's resolutions. 91%. How depressing is that? That is horrible. That is absolutely horrible. Okay, furthermore, did you actually know, I did not know this, did you know that the second Friday in January has a name? Yes, it is called Quitter's Day. Quitter's Day, because that's when most people actually give up on their New Year's resolutions. Can you believe this? So, okay, we've got to think about this in a new way, new approach, because I've been guilty. I'll be honest, and I'm going to go ahead and just tell my husband. He probably won't listen to this episode, so I can probably get away with this. But we're sitting here this weekend, and we're home, and weather was really nice, and he makes out this tremendous big list. And then I start to realize that this is like a New Year's resolution list of things that we're going to accomplish on the place. And I watched this whole weekend as he was like making this list. And I was in this great place this weekend. I had a phenomenal weekend with my family and my horses and spent some incredible time with our Lord. I started a new devotional series and just really, it's just incredible. So great weekend. So I'm in this really good Zen place, right? And I'm watching this whole thing take place and unfold, and he's getting more and more stressed out. So I finally looked at the list. Wow. I get it. We were going to go from zero to hero overnight. And you're probably sitting there laughing because you've probably done the same thing or watched someone in your family do this exact same thing. Oh, New Year's resolutions. The time when everyone fills their coffers with these hefty goals, often too many goals, and the end result is complete burnout before the end of the month actually happens. It's crazy. Quitter's Day. It's unreal. Very depressing. Yes, I agree. So on the show today, Life Planning 101, we're not going to talk about New Year's resolutions. We're going to talk about moving forward with intention in 2024. Because here's what I do know. I've never met an individual or a family yet that doesn't want to live life on purpose, that actually wants to just do things by default. In other words, they just run through life so fast that whatever happens to them happens to them. I've never really found somebody that wants to live that way. They may live that way because they're just going too fast, never slowing down, or really never taking the time to think about it, reflect upon it. But I've never met somebody that wants to do that. People want to move forward with intention. They want to do things on purpose. They want to determine the outcome of their life, right? Or at least to some degree. Maybe not the complete outcome, but if you ask people what they want out of life, I bet they have an answer. Met anybody that doesn't, and when they don't, they're constantly searching for that answer. Yet we fill it full of things that we want to accomplish And is that really being intentional about getting to what it means to you to live life on purpose? Now, I'm going to take you back. We have done so many articles and radio shows, podcasts on purposeful living. One of which I highly recommend you get on, you look up in our library. It was called Unacceptable Regrets. And it's got some incredible worksheets that goes with it. And, it's something about, not having anything to regret at the end of the day. So if you're kind of stuck with what this needs to look like. But, a lot of people just look at their messes and just want to get their messes cleaned up in the New Year's, or they look at their weight in the mirror and they go, oh my gosh, I ate way too much for Christmas and this has got to change because every year this is just getting worse and worse and worse. And so they set these resolutions and these goals, and there's nothing wrong with these things, but there's no why behind them. You remember the SMART goals, and we actually have something on that as well, but specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and then time measured, right? But they still don't even talk about the one thing that I think is the most important thing. It's the intention. It's the why. Why do you have the resolution in the first place? And if you really can't answer that other than, I just want to be thinner, then you're not going to succeed because you have no motivation behind it. I'm going to go ahead and just shoot straight with you. You are going to be a statistic on Quitter's Day. You might make it a little bit longer. I don't know. But the point is that without intention, you can't really move forward. So I'm going to challenge you, number one, to find out what is it mean for you to live life on purpose. Now, that's not what the show is about today, though. We're actually going to take a next step, and we're going to say, are you moving forward with intention? Because if we're sitting here in 2025 and you're looking back over the last year, I want you to say, yes, this was the best year ever because I moved forward with intention. Not because I met my resolutions, not because of that, because I moved forward with intention. So you're not going to want to miss this right here on Life Planning 101 when we come back. Welcome back to Life Planning 101. My name is Angela Robinson with Smart Money Group and Kennedy Financial Services right here in the great town of Eastland, Texas, where we are helping people live life on purpose. Yes, we are a life planning firm, wealth management firm. We really work a lot of things to do with money at the end of the day, but none of that matters. It's just a tool if you're not living life on purpose. So we left you with a question before the break about what does it mean to you to live life on purpose? And what we're going to be doing in this show is not talking about those failed New Year's resolutions that, yes, actually there is a coined term on them because there is a day that most people quit by and they call it Quitter's Day. And that is not a joke, even though it sounds like a joke, because there is a positive thing in all this. Because if you know this, if you know that there is a Quitter's Day and New Year's resolutions work, then just stop. Altogether stop. And we're going to ask a new question. We're going to say, are you moving forward in 2024 with intention? Because New Year's resolutions don't work. They're haphazard. You need a plan. And the reason they don't work is the reasons we talked about before the break. So just this morning, I was listening to a podcast on great leaders. I think it was done on my Monday Morning Mojo. I get a couple things, so I sometimes get confused. But it was Monday Morning Mojo, and it was a great thing. It was talking about how great leaders know that success begets success. And every small win, no matter how small it is gasoline for the next win. And that's how leaders build people. Because see, great leaders aren't just control freaks and try to do everything and take all the wins for themselves. No, they build teams, right? I could say this about the Dallas Cowboys. Anyway, we're going to continue on. But no, in reality here, right? Great leaders build great people because they're able to help them get small wins and create gasoline to get the next win. Success begets success. Well, this made total sense when you think about the time span from New Year's Day to Quitter's Day, which they say is the second Friday in January, when most people actually give up on their New Year's resolutions. Just think about it. Let's say you set a goal to lose weight. You're going to eat right and exercise, right? You got it. 2 weeks later, You're starving, sore, and you don't look a heck of a lot different than you did on January 1st. Where is the gasoline? There is none. Let's say that you set a resolution about your finances. You're going to get your financial house in order. 2 weeks later, everything's technology. You're overwhelmed. You're frustrated. And you still see the mountain of debt ahead and you don't know how to climb it. No when. Where is the gasoline? Now, I could sit here and peel off one resolution at a time, whether it be physical, whether it be family-oriented, whether it be spiritual, whether it be financial. No matter, by the way, we've got a great called Life Scorecard. You could Google it, Life Scorecard provided by Dr. Rhodes. Great way to measure where you're at and actually help you be intentional about what you want to accomplish this year. Highly recommend that. It's on our website, www.kennedy-financial.com. But I could sit here and peel off these resolutions one time and give you the exact same storyline that I gave you in these last two and tell you why people on Quitter's Day quit. Truth be told, most people make New Year's resolutions in multiple areas, and they want that 0 to hero effect, as I was kind of giving my husband a hard time earlier in the show. And just think, let's just paint a picture about this. Let's just say this to you. Okay, here's the New Year's resolution for you. I'm going to wake up each day, spend time with my Lord and Savior, and then I'm going to have a good sweaty workout. And afterwards, fix a healthy breakfast for my family, and everyone in my house is going to leave with a smile on their face, song on their heart. No one's going to be rushing out that door. And then I'm going to go to work. I'm going to lead my team to achieve greatness and fill everyone's pocketbooks. And after work, I'm going to come home and I'm still going to have tons of energy to give everything to my family. And by the way, we're going to be that good Samaritan family that's going to go down the road and we're going to help that neighbor lady with her lawn. And after cleaning up from really good, fabulous, nutrient-rich supper that I put around the dinner table where everybody's sitting and playing games, I'm going to spend time with my spouse and just listen to his day. And last in the day, I'll be studying on my vocation, reading from my favorite inspirational author, and may write a few lines in my gratitude journal. Hopefully it's a lot of lines about the day's victories, because that sounds like a lot of victories. And that's all just before I'm going to get 80 hours of shut-eye to do it all again. Heck, I don't know about you, but I'm worn out just talking about all that. Who actually can accomplish all of that in one day? Yet, these are the types of New Year's resolutions that people actually set. I've set them. I think I could go 0 to hero. I've done it. It doesn't work. I'm a statistic on Quitter's Day, 2 weeks after January 1st. It's happened. So I say, let's just forget New Year's resolutions. Let's get real in 2024. What about just being intentional? Let's take a quick break. Think about what it means to be intentional with what it means to live life on purpose. And we're going to talk about that when we come back right here on Life Planning 101. Welcome back to Life Planning 101. My name is Angela Robinson with Kennedy Financial Services and Smart Money Group right here in the great state of Texas, where we say, how about them Cowboys? But I'm just keep saying that because I know it's 2024 if this is a year and we just won the division, which we didn't expect to happen. Of course, I can't celebrate too much because last time we won the division, it didn't look so good for us. But this time, I know it's going to be like Jimmy Johnson in that locker room in San Francisco is where I'm really thinking we're going to be playing the NFC Championship. And we're going to be saying, how about them Cowboys? And we're going to be heading to the Super Bowl. It's happening. They said the Jimmy curse is gone. Okay, but we'll get off the subject to the Cowboys. Back on, are you moving forward in 2024? I'm not talking about resolutions. I'm talking about with intention. You see, before we took a break, we talked about these 0 to hero resolutions that will never happen, because if I can fit all of that in one day for 5 days a week and still have energy on the weekends, holy smokes, I think I must came from the planet. What's the kryptonite planet? What's the Superman planet? I mean, something crazy. It can't happen. Yet we set these unrealistic things in our mind that we're going to be able to accomplish. and they just don't happen. And why don't they happen? And they don't even have to be unrealistic. Maybe they are realistic, but they still fall out. You still hear that statistic on Quitter's Day. Yes, if you missed that, there is a day called Quitter's Day. It is the second Friday in January. Really sad, okay? But it's a good thing to know, because if you know that, then you know that you can't just set a resolution. It's not enough. See, what about just being intentional with what you really want in life, where you want to be, what you want to be, who you want to be? Maybe you really do need to focus on your health. Maybe you need to focus on your wealth. Maybe you need to spend more time with Jesus or your family. Maybe you need to simply remember to live in gratitude. Yeah, I know I often do. It's a great book called Gap versus the Gain. I think that's what it is. It was written by Dan Sullivan, strategic coach. Ooh, it's powerful. It talks about if you're always needing something more, doing something more, and you don't realize how far you've actually come, I challenge you to do that. Actually sit down and think about how far you've come in the last year. Think about how far you've come in the last 10 years. Think about how far you've come in the last 20 years. Think about how far you've come in the last 30 years. Think about how far you've come since your parents handed you a set of keys, or you purchased your own set of keys. And if you purchased your own set of keys, think about how far you come since the first day you earned your first dollar. Wow. Now, that's living in gratitude, not in the, I haven't done this yet, or I still haven't done this, or I haven't been able to get to this, or I can't get this done yet, or I need to do this before I can do this. And that's the world that we try to live in. Whew, that's a stressful world. Remember to live in gratitude. But that's a side note. So maybe, depending on what you need to focus on, I don't know what you need to focus on, but maybe you need to do all of that. The thing to know is that you can't do it in 2 weeks, and you certainly can't do it all in 2 weeks. But yet our minds tell us that we have to do that, because if we don't do that, then we don't have that little feeling of success. And if we don't have that feeling of success, we don't have the gasoline to get more success. Remember those wise words that the great leaders, they said about great leaders. I was listening to that podcast this morning. Success begets success. Great leaders know that. Great leaders know that because they want their teams to get small wins so they can get more wins and more wins and more wins. So my question to you is something very simple. What little thing could you be intentional about today? Or if it's the end of the day, tomorrow, what little thing could you be intentional about to pour a little gasoline on your tank? Maybe tomorrow you could sandwich your day. 15 minutes in the morning, meditation, prayer. 5 minutes at night, writing those gratitudes in your journal. Maybe that's what you need to focus on tomorrow. That's it. Just one day. Maybe it's getting up and doing just one push-up. How many people do you know that can actually just do one push-up, okay? But anyway, that's all you got to tell yourself. I'm going to get up and do one push-up tomorrow. Or I'm going to sit there for 2 minutes and pretend I'm jumping a rope. For 2 minutes. That's it. That's it. That's what I'm going to do tomorrow. That's a win, right? If you told yourself this is your goal and you want it, you won, right? If I tell myself I'm going to lose 15 pounds and this is how I'm going to do it, I'm going to work out for the next 6 days and, oh my gosh, I can't walk around my house and, oh my gosh, I'm starving. Oh, that cake looks so good. Why are my kids eating that cake and I can't eat it? Yeah, that's going to go real well. Just if you're a Cowboys fan and it's like thick of football season and I'm thinking like, ooh, good guacamole and hot sauce and chips and queso. And yeah, it's just not going to happen. Pizza, yeah, not going to happen, right? So why do we do that to ourselves? It doesn't work that way. That's not life. Yes, there are times that you have to make severe changes. And those severe changes, I'm still going to tell you that you need to be intentional about those severe changes. And you need to give yourself little wins and give yourself ways to win each and every day. Each and every day, right? So perhaps tomorrow it's taking a 10-minute lunch to write to your spouse, or 10 minutes out of your lunch to write to your spouse or to your children, a short love letter, one child. Perhaps it's simply putting a box on the counter this month as all the tax stuff comes in and you just start collecting that and the bills and everything goes into that box. So you get the win. I got it all in one place. The next month you take it and you put it in some type of organization and you got that win, right? And perhaps if you're feeling really brave, tomorrow you will pick up the phone and you're going to call your advisor and you're going to say, hey, would you set up an automatic savings for my bank account? You do all the paperwork, right? Oh, sure. Yeah. Okay. So maybe it needs to be minuscule because you're thinking, oh my gosh, I don't know how much I could do that. I don't know. We'll make it minuscule. Maybe it's $100 for you. Maybe it's $1,000 for you, and you do it on a monthly basis. It's automatic. It comes the day out of your bank account that you get your paycheck. What would happen in 12 months if you look back and you had done that every single month, even if you didn't adjust it upwards? Would you be happy that you did that? I bet you would. Could you afford it? Yes, you could. And then when you got that little bit of success, maybe say, okay, you know what? Let me see if I can find more. Just a little more. Oh, I could stop going to Starbucks. I'm going to start making my coffee. That'd be all right. $5 a day. 5 days a week. That's $25 times 4. That's another $100 I could find. But get the little win. Get the first win. The point is to get some gasoline in your tank. Benjamin Franklin. Now this might be some fine irony for you. He had very profound wisdom that really applies, I think, in all areas of life if you think about it. He said, watch the pennies and the dollars will take care of themselves. Watch the pennies and the dollars will take care of themselves. We're always after the dollar. We're always after, I gotta go big or go home. 0 to hero. You can't do it that way. You just can't do it that way. I don't even know why mentally we think that we can. It's just like this crash and burn, and boy, does it hurt, right? And isn't that fine irony? Because Benjamin Franklin's like the face of the $100 bill. How about them Benjamins? I mean, we all want to be rolling in the Benjamins. Yeah. Well, to be rolling in the Benjamins, you got to start with the pennies. So get yourself a penny tomorrow. Get yourself a penny the next day. Get yourself a penny the next day. Maybe you do need to start with that gratitude journal, because every day you need to tell yourself, this is the penny I got today, and tomorrow I'm going to get this penny. Forget the dollars. Forget them. The dollars will take care of themselves if you watch the pennies. So start small. Be intentional and win big in 2024. And how about them Cowboys? I'm sorry, I couldn't resist. So, yes, my name is Angela Robinson with Kennedy Financial Services and Smart Money Group right here in Eastland, Texas. God bless you. I truly hope 2024 is the best year ever for the families that we work with, for those that listen to our show. I know it can be. Times are tough, but it all starts with you and your home of how this year is going to turn out. So let's make it the best year ever. Let's move forward with intention. God bless you. Have a great week. And join us right here next week on Life Planning 101.
Thank you for joining us for Life Planning 101, brought to you by Smart Money Group and Kennedy Financial Services. If you have questions, you can email them to lifeplanning@kennedy-financial.com. Don't forget to learn how our sister company can assist you with all of your tax, bookkeeping, and consulting needs. You can find out more at briscoeandassociates.com. Be sure to tune in next week for more Life Planning 101. The opinions expressed herein are those of the firm and are subject to change without notice. The opinions referenced are as of the date of publication and are subject to change due to changes in the market or economic conditions and may not necessarily come to pass. Any opinions, projections, or forward-looking statements expressed herein are solely those of the author, may differ from the views or opinions expressed by other areas of the firm, and are only for general informational purposes as of the date indicated. Securities offered through Calton & Associates Incorporated, a registered investment advisor, member FINRA SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through Smart Money Group LLC. Kennedy Financial Services and Smart Money Group LLC are separate entities and are not owned or controlled by Calton & Associates Incorporated.